Before the coronavirus pandemic, it was easy to buy meat at the grocery store. Now we're asking,
where's the beef?
And chicken and pork.
Only 2% of Americans have any connection to the farm economy. It's a mysterious and opaque system for most of us, and we have very little idea about how things get from here to there.
Outbreaks of COVID-19 at meat processing plants have disrupted the supply chain.
Cargill meatpacking plant,
the biggest meatpacking plants in the country.
Hundreds of positive coronavirus cases.
A handful of plant closures across the country might not seem like much, but it's likely the meat you're accustomed to buying comes from these same plants.
Year over year, we've seen big companies buying up little companies. Certainly on the meat side, these companies have gotten enormous.
Companies like Tyson Foods, ConAgra, Cargill, JBS Beef, and Smithfield dominate the meat processing industry, and even smaller farmers are affected when these plants close.
You go to the farmer's market and you buy your meat from a small, mom and pop purveyor. Those animals still have to get processed in a USDA overseen, facility.
The butchering at these plants is essential to food distribution across the country.
It's the ugly stuff we don't generally want to talk about. So it is a slaughter. You're on an assembly line basically, and you do your cuts, you do the things that you specialize in. Obviously you have protective gear on, and basically these animals are moved from a whole carcass into primal cuts. They get cut down more and more and more into smaller, manageable cuts. And as fewer grocery stores have their own in-store butcher, often the size that you'll see in the grocery store is how small they whittle things at these processing plants.
And when those plants close, even temporarily, there are millions of animals that cannot be processed.
Because of these bottlenecks, are we going to see a lot of farmers having to depopulate or euthanize their animals? They certainly don't want to ever do that. On the financial side, but also, they raise animals for a living. They love those animals.
Hog and beef production has already seen a big decrease with the temporary closure of plants.
The losses may be less on the consumer side, seeing big gaps. There may be some of that, and there also may be panic buying, just like we saw at the very beginning with toilet paper, that if you hear there's a meat shortage, you go out and irrationally buy meat, right? So we may see some problems at the grocery store that we're complicit in creating.
And that could mean less meat at the store and higher prices for the ones on the shelves.